Hello, I'm Lori Steiner, sitting in for Armin Budish. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, they're your mom and dad, but now you're parenting your parents. We'll help write the new rules for this changed relationship. Your date with a dentist just got easier. We'll fill you in. Plus, her birthday traditions gave her the gift of a new business. And little-known money-saving tips on when to sign up for Medicare.
It's time to get GOing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. On the list of major life stresses, it's no surprise that the death of a loved one and selling a home both rank right up at the top. Now imagine having to face them both at once. This double whammy is not so uncommon for many adult children. Mark Anthony is a real estate agent who specializes in selling homes that are a part of an estate, and he's here with advice that can help us deal with this difficult dilemma. Mark is with Cuyahoga Estate Homes. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we know this is a very stressful time. How can you make it just a little bit easier?
Well, with my experience, any real estate transaction, it's common for it to be stressful. And with the estate process, I like to advise all my clients to have good communication with all the interested parties, because there's many people involved, from buyers and sellers and real estate agents, home inspectors, to estate planning attorneys. So I advise them to have good communication with all the parties, and a good system of organization, perhaps a folder that they can have everybody's information in one place, so when they need to communicate with a certain party in the transaction, it's easy for them to do it. I also advise them to become educated on the process, so that they understand the decisions they're making, because they're very important decisions.
Yeah, knowledge is power. So now it's not only stressful, it's very emotional too. And we've got these adult children selling their parents' home. All their parents' personal items are in there. The children grew up in these houses. How do you help them deal with that emotional piece of it?
Well, the emotional aspect is tough, because oftentimes the beneficiaries have grown up in the homes, and they have many memories from the holidays and great experiences. So I like to talk to the clients about their experiences in the house, and talk about the positive things that they remember. I advise them to detach themselves from the property, because with the emotional aspect, it can complicate the real estate transaction. And
it's just business, right? It's
just a business transaction, and I feel as if sellers should look at the property that they're trying to sell from the eyes of a home buyer. The home buyers typically look at the property, look at the property's price, the location, the condition of the property, and the terms of the contract. So those are the main 4 points that home buyers have in mind when they're purchasing property.
Okay, so how do you begin? Do you just put the house up for sale?
Well, I'm glad you asked. That's a great question. Each property is unique. Some sellers are ready to put their home up for sale right away, and others may have things that need to be done prior to putting the property up for sale. Some homes need cosmetic work, for example, paint and carpet. And oftentimes, especially in the estate market, there's personal property left in the house, and that needs to be liquidated or cleared out of the house, so that a home stager could come in and professionally stage the property.
Make it really look attractive.
Right.
So, okay, well, how about pricing? Once you've finally got it ready to go, how do you price it?
Well, in the estate process, the estate planning attorney will oftentimes have an appraiser, a professional appraiser, give their price opinion. And it's always a good idea to have a second opinion from a real estate agent. A real estate agent can provide a broker price opinion or second opinion for the price of the property, and that can help determine what the asking price should be for the property.
Okay, so it's really not all that hard. You just get help and have good communication. So handling your parents' affairs after their death can be overwhelming. So look for and accept help whenever you can. That includes selling the family home. Follow Mark's tips to lighten the stress load, and for more help, give him a call at 440-334-6032. My thanks to Mark for joining us.
Thank you.
Next, parental guidance. But first, he was a writer, not a warrior, yet he wound up at West Point. However, this chapter of his life came to a dramatic end when he arrived at a parade almost entirely out of uniform. Any uniform. Can you title this author? We'll publish the answer when we return.
My husband and I got into the car and we couldn't do it. We couldn't pick one baby over the other. Coming to Metro changed the entire pregnancy. We actually started to become happy with our situation. We owe a big thank you to Metro. I can't imagine our family without Sam.
His superior officers wrote off writer Edgar Allan Poe when he arrived wearing a white belt and gloves, and nothing else, for a public procession. Their conclusion? Poe was never more to be a pupil at West Point.
Your mom and dad have always been in charge, but lately you discover you need to be checking in and maybe checking up on them. How should you handle this emerging role reversal? Relationship coach Kathy Dawson is here with rules for this new relationship where you find yourself parenting your parents. Oh, very difficult, huh?
Extremely difficult. It's different for everybody, but some of the things you watch for are how are they grooming themselves, personal hygiene. I mean, you never think about having to do this, but this is going to happen to everybody, maybe.
Right.
You know.
Not me, of course, but...
Well, right, you've already went through this. Oh, you mean you personally?
Yeah, me personally.
Oh, yeah,
that's never
right.
gonna happen.
Right, okay.
That's what everybody thinks, right?
right, it's happening. Yeah. So grooming, checking out the refrigerator, you know, are they cleaning it out? How are they doing with stairs? Are they taking their medication? How are they doing with driving? You know, all these things can be clues that they need some help.
Yeah, but you know, it's mom and dad. How do you go about telling them what to do?
No, it's very, very difficult. As an adult child, it affects us emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And just like you said, we're up next. All right, so it's
Nobody wants to think about it, but
it's a
you
role
really have
reversal.
to.
You really do need to be. You need to get in there and not take control. Well, yeah, take control to a certain degree.
Basically.
I mean, I can control every little thing, but they need help. There's no question.
So you have to start this conversation with them, right?
Yep.
So you gotta. Well, how do you begin?
So here's what you do. You sit down with them and you validate their feelings. I mean, we're not that far away from this, so we can imagine how difficult.
Yeah.
Hey, have a nice day. No, not to get you. But we have to really validate their feelings. It's got to be difficult to understand that we're breaking down in some way and that we're having trouble driving, we're having trouble getting up in the morning and doing things for ourselves. So saying to them, you know, I can imagine this is hard, and also relating it to yourself and saying, I'm uncomfortable with this. You know, I'm concerned about your health, I'm concerned about your safety, and I would really like you to be open to getting some guidance. And I think sometimes when adult children bring it to them, a parent might say, oh, I don't want my child to feel awful or hurt or worried.
So you turn around to be yourself having the problem with it. They don't feel threatened by you saying, you can't drive anymore.
Exactly. It's all in the delivery. And I love the phrase, I'm uncomfortable with fill in the blank. It works almost every time.
Okay, so you've got this conversation started now, hopefully. Where do you take it?
Well, as soon as possible, you have the conversation when you start to see these clues happening. And financially, this is really tough, but you need to talk to them about things like, well, you know, you're a lawyer. Things like durable power of attorney.
Exactly.
Healthcare power of attorney. Do it earlier than later. Here's a real life story. My mom had cancer, and she got to the point where she got a brain tumor, and the accountant came in and he wanted her to sign documents. She couldn't sign them. So here I am with her hand with a pen.
Not good.
Nobody wants to go through that. No. Yeah. So as difficult as it is, you can say to them, you know, what are your ideas? Put it on them. Not like you're coming in and saying, this is what you have to do.
Right.
Have you thought about this at all?
Yeah. make it much more non-threatening.
Yes,
than-
exactly.
So if you're far enough ahead, they're still okay physically, mentally especially. Get their documents in place, get some talk about probate avoidance and things like that. What if you're already past all that?
Okay, you may have to get outside help. For instance, I think it's really important for your parent to have dignity as they age. There are certain things that adult children can help with. For example, with my mom, I used to go in and massage her feet and I'd cut her toenails. That was it. Okay, I didn't feel comfortable caring for her more personal
Right.
needs. And I think they want dignity and they wouldn't want their child doing that.
Yeah, that would be embarrassing.
Yeah, so getting outside resources, and there's a wonderful organization, I want to pronounce this right, it's Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging.
Perfect.
Yay!
Yes.
A lot of A's in there.
And we've got the number up there on the screen for everybody so they can give you some advice, huh?
Oh, they have social workers, they've got nurses, I mean, there's help out there. They even have respite programs for adult children who
excellent.
are working with parents. So yeah.
Wow, excellent advice. So while caring for your aging parents may feel similar to raising your own children, it's different simply because of who they are, your parents. Follow Kathy's advice to make the best of a challenging situation. My thanks to Kathy for providing priceless parental guidance. Thanks.
Thank you for having me.
For relationship advice, call Kathy Dawson at 216-932-5016 or click to www.kathythecoach.com. Next, easier ways to open wide. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Hungering for a hamburger? Then join fans of this food at the National Hamburger Festival August 9th and 10th, located at Lock 3 in Akron. A buffet of activities and entertainment have been cooked up for this event, including cook-off contests and bobbing for burgers. To gobble up the delicious details, visit www.hamburgerfestival.com.
Fine, when you think about going to the dentist, maybe you're anxious about feeling pain. Maybe you're worried your mouth will be numb for hours, making eating and drinking a drag. Or maybe you realize you've avoided a dental visit for possibly decades. Today, dentist Steve Marsh is going to calm your fears and update you on the many ways that your appointment will not only be painless, but pleasant. So,
Thanks, Lauren.
wow, that's great. You've got a long list of tips and techniques, right, for tranquil dental visits.
Well, you know, we have a lot of people who haven't been to the dentist for many years and many who come regularly. So one of the things for people who have anxiety, sometimes we make early morning appointments. In our office, we start every morning at 7, Monday through Friday. So some people want to get it done, or they're professionals and they want to get down to work, and they have a lot on their mind, they want to do it early. Another thing we do in our office, and I'll talk specifically about our office, is we like to see people on time. We don't like waiting. No one likes to wait.
No,
it
yeah.
creates anxiety as
Right.
well. In our office, we have a reception area with things like orange juice and water and coffee. And there's a picture actually in our office, and some snacks, so that, again, if you don't have time to have something in the morning, all these things are all made so that
I hope all the snacks are sugar-free, by the way.
Yeah, they are. So we try to do all we can to make it as easy and nice for the patient. All those things help to reduce the anxiety.
Okay, well, what if all of that is still not enough? What if it doesn't calm the patient down enough?
Okay, so among other things, we always say talk to the dentist and discuss things. But there are things like Valium, 5 milligrams, a very small amount, will help take away the anxiety. You can come to the office, have a refreshment, take your pill, and wait 45 minutes for it to take effect. That's one idea. Certainly, administering Novocaine has become different. We have topical anesthetics. I have some topical right here that we use. It's cherry flavored, it's mint flavored, it works much faster than it used to do, and the dentist should administer this before the injection. And as my father taught me, when you do the injection, you do a little bit at a time. So you give a little bit, you
Let it get
stop.
kind of numb before you...
Right, I'm not numbing up the tooth, I'm numbing up the area.
Okay.
And I'll actually use an injector like this. It's very easy, it's very subtle.
It's big.
It's big, but it's just to hold the liquid. There are other things that can make it easier. One is a mouth prop for people who have problems keeping their mouth open.
Okay, you don't have to worry about that.
No, so we have this. So we do all that we can to make it as easy as we can for patients. Another thing we use when people are numb, and it's like you, Laura, you have to get to work and you don't want to be numb for a few hours.
Yeah.
We use this is called Oraverse, and Oraverse is another anesthetic that we administer. You're already numb, so you don't feel it, And then with Oraverse, instead of being numb for 3-4 hours, it may last 30 to 45 minutes. All of these things can be used by the dentist to make things much easier for the patient.
How about when they're sitting in their chair having all of these things done? You've got TV, music, all that kind of thing?
And that's something we actually have a picture of. And what happens is that we have video monitors, we have earphones, all of these things to make the experience better. We even use, oftentimes we'll use a blanket. And the blanket...
A blanket?
Well, sometimes it's cold in the office.
Okay.
Sometimes just having that blanket around you makes you much more comfortable. So those are all things that can make the experience that much easier for the patient. Here's a patient in our chair watching TV. It happens to be Channel 3 in this case. She has a blanket on her lap. She's laid back. We have a pillow for her neck. All that we can do to make it as easy as we can. And the other thing we do, Lori, is while we're working, we always want to make sure that they're comfortable. We don't want the patient to experience pain. So we'll stop every so often to make sure that they're comfortable. And that's something that all dentists can do to make the experience that much easier.
Okay. Do we have maybe one picture of some?
Yeah, because a lot of people, as we mentioned, come in and they've had this anxiety. They've avoided the dentist for a while. And so we have a couple of pictures to show some patients who have experienced that. This is a patient who came to me. You talked about 10 years. It had been about 10 years. She hated the way her teeth looked, but she couldn't overcome that fear. And so we did some reshaping of her teeth. We took out the old fillings and any decay. She was somebody who actually used a Valium to get through it. Again, sometimes we use this nitrous oxide, which relaxes people as well. We did some gum contouring, did some porcelain veneers, and some reshaping of her teeth. And this is somebody who avoided for years. And here's somebody, she was ashamed of her smile, and that's why she avoided the dentist. Another thing that creates anxiety. So again, in this case, we did gum contouring and some porcelain veneers, but again, used all these techniques to make it a good experience for her, and she's become one of our favorite referral sources because she said she finally found a place that made her comfortable.
Well, and that's good. So now you can be fearless and painless when you have your dental checkup. Ready to schedule your appointment? Give Steve a call. His number is next.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com. Next, birthday in a box. It's time to get up and go, an exercise minute on golden opportunities.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and today I'm going to show you how to work the quads in the front of the leg by doing a single leg squat. You ready to go?
I hope so.
Let's do this. All right, we're going to start by making sure that you have some firm surface next to you just in case you get in trouble. From here, what we're going to do is we're going to put all the pressure on the right leg or the left leg, whichever you choose to start with. The opposite leg is going to go out to your side, toes pointed towards the ground, and we're simply going to squat down as we lower that leg out and up. Okay, make sure that firm surface is next to you just in case you get in trouble. 12 to 15 repetitions. Make sure your knee stays in alignment with your shoulder. It should not buckle in. Lori, how you feeling?
Oh, I need this firm.
There you go. You're looking good though. Not too bad. Yeah, not too bad. Utilize your chair. Yeah. Excellent. That's perfect. All right, everybody. 12 to 15, 2 to 3 sets. And now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, please send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 23240 Chagrin Boulevard, Suite 450, Beechwood, Ohio, 44122.
At a certain age, many of us start to think of slowing down and winding up our careers. But for some, the end means a new beginning. Tish Dalby decided it was now or never to begin a big business, and it turns out this chance to try something new has become one of the best gifts she's ever received. Tish is the creator and founder of Pinklejinks. All right, Pinklejinks, that sounds fun. So you had a job you loved, and you had to leave it to begin this new business. A paying job you left, right?
Yes, it sounds crazy, doesn't
Yes,
it?
it does.
And maybe I am crazy, but it was, the timing was perfect. My 4 girls were older, they didn't need me as much, and I made the transition from this job, as you said, that I loved, to another passion that I had. And it was a passion that I developed with my girls through the years, a tradition we created to celebrate birthdays.
Oh, okay. So tell us about what that tradition it was and how it then evolved.
Well, it started when one of my daughters was getting ready to have her birthday. My husband was traveling like so many other families. We had pushed the birthday off till the weekend.
Well, we do the same thing always.
We're all guilty of it. But my daughter knew her birthday was the following day, and I wanted to make it special because, you know, they wait all year for that one day. So while she was sleeping, I set a place of honor for her at the table. I decorated with banners and little posters and just created this really magical setting for her. And when she came down the next morning, she looked at me and said, "Oh, Mommy, who did this?" And I just kind of sputtered out the birthday fairy. And she was amazed that this fairy came and decorated for her. Well, it became a huge hit, and we continued it through the years. We've been doing it for over 20 years now in our house.
Oh my goodness. Oh, so it has become definitely a family tradition.
Yes.
So when you were leaving your other job, which was a paying job, I understand your boss was supportive?
Well, it was my mentor. I explained to him that I was taking this leap, and I explained the product to him, and he looked at me and he said, "This is a great idea, and I will support you in mentoring you, but I'll one-up it, and I'll also support you financially as you launch this business."
Oh, how fortunate. How
Very
great that
fortunate
was.
and very unique, that situation.
And we have a box here, but we have some pictures too. And this decoration, this is a lot beyond just construction paper cutouts.
Absolutely. So what we did is we talked to a lot of moms. We got a lot of feedback from them on what's important. And we knew that the chair cover would be something that every child would want their chair to be different. And we thought a birthday crown. Who doesn't want to wear a birthday crown on their birthday? So we created these durable products that you could use year after year with your children. And the whole concept is children love to wait for that special moment where they get to get that hat out or that special plate or special cup. And we even have a fork and a spoon that look just like birthday candles. So everything about it is so magical
So
and
this is
so
what you
fun.
get in the box that we have here that
That's
you've been seeing
correct.
on the table. So what's the book?
Well, the book is kind of the basis of this whole magic, and what it talks about is this little spunky character named Joy, and she, along with her dad, the baker, create this magical experience for children, and she comes to the homes of boys and girls while they're sleeping, and she sets this place of honor for them, so when they wake up in the morning, it's all about the birthday.
Oh, so you read that at night to anticipate what's going to happen in the morning.
That's right.
Oh, it's a great family tradition.
It is, and I think it's that one day that just belongs to that child, and through the years it's so magical. And what really kind of struck a chord with me is that I had done this for my children for about 15 years, and one morning I woke up and they had created that same experience for me. And my daughters told me, "We wanted you to know how special you made us feel through the years." And I looked at my husband and I said, "What child doesn't want to feel that way? And what parent doesn't want to feel that joy that I feel right now?" And that's really the basis of this company.
Oh, great. Tish Dalby decided that it wasn't too late to begin a new chapter in her life and her work, and she is now living and working life to the fullest. To find out more about her gift for business or to order a Pinkle Jinx kit for you or your family, use the information that's coming up next.
For more information about Pinkle Jinx, call 1-800-382-1217 or unwrap their website at www.pinklejinx.com. Next, money-saving tips on Medicare enrollment.
Hilltop Village Apartments is retirement living at its best. Residents enjoy a wide variety of activities and living services with all large first-floor apartments, private screened-in patios with beautiful park views, daily dining room meals, free laundry facilities, 24-hour staff, and so much more. Enjoy safe, comfortable independence at a very affordable price. Call today for a tour and learn how you can get your first month's rent free. Hilltop Village Apartments, retirement living at its best.
When you turn 65, you're eligible for Medicare. But should you sign up for Medicare if you're still working? While this may seem like an easy question, the answer can be very tricky, and a mistake can cost you plenty. Here to keep you out of Medicare trouble is my very caring law partner, Mike Solomon.
Hello, Lori.
Hello. So we need to sign up for Medicare at age 65 and pay the premiums normally, but do we have to sign up if we're still working?
Well, that depends, Lori. It depends really on the size of your employer. So if you work for an employer with fewer than 20 employees, then you ought to sign up for Medicare. You ought to sign. Part A, as you know, is free, and Part B, you pay a premium. The reason is that when there are fewer than 20 employees, Medicare is the primary insurer, and the employer's coverage that you get is secondary to Medicare. So if you don't sign up for Medicare, then what happens is you never get any coverage. You don't get the Medicare, and the employer's insurance won't cover you because you're supposed to sign up for Medicare.
You didn't have Medicare. Okay. So what if you are working someplace with 20 or more employees?
Well, there the answer is different. If there are more than 20 or more employees, then the employer's insurance is primary. And your insurance, the Medicare, is secondary. So most people, it doesn't make sense to sign up for Part B because then you end up having to pay the premium, and that can cost you like $100 a month. So you can avoid that extra cost.
Okay, so save a little bit of money, but are there traps to watch out for?
Well, yes, because if you're working for that employer with 20 or more employees and you don't sign up for Part B, when you leave that job, you have 8 months to sign up. If you don't sign up within that 8 months, later on, when you do sign up, there are going to be a lot of extra costs that you have to pay.
Like penalties for signing
That's
up
right.
late. Okay. So when do I sign up for Medicare then if I am working for a small business? What's that time frame?
Okay, now remember when you're working for a small business, Medicare is the primary insurance. So you have to sign up like you normally would. You have 3 months prior to turning age 65 or 3 months after 65. And again, if you miss that window, and when you finally do sign up, you're going to have a lot of extra costs and penalties.
Ooh, so we got to make sure that you're watching for that time window. So,
Right.
All right. Well, this is always good information. So should you sign up for Medicare even if you're still working at age 65? The answer depends on the size of your employer. Follow Mike's advice so you don't make a costly mistake. We'll be right back.
Call Budish, Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.bssplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. On next week's show, want to leave a lasting legacy? Let us list the ways. Then we'll review what's new regarding your health insurance coverage. And we'll prescribe a healthy dose of medical news that you can use. But until then, always please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest information and show updates.